Today we're talking Wonderkids once again here on the Sort It Out SI channel. Now these are the best new Wonderkids for FM24. These are all 16-year-old players who have not been in a Football Manager game until FM24. Now we've already covered how to download and install the Wonderkids shortlist, which has about 500 Wonderkids. Now these are the best 10 new ones you can get in your game. Some you'll be able to sign really early on in the game. Others you will probably hate because they will just dominate you for years to come. So, ahead of going into this list, obviously you can see on screen first the one you will all be expecting, Lamine Yamal. Now, these are all 16-year-olds who have not appeared in any previous Football Manager game and all have a potential ability at the highest part of the range. Now, because they are 16, they all have dynamic potential, so their potential will be different from game to game, but they'll all be in that really high range. So 9 times out of 10, all of these players will be world beaters the further you get into the game. So as we've mentioned, the top player on this list, you'll all be expecting to be here. It's Lamine Yamal. He's this basically the equivalent of Endrick from FM23. You know he's going to be amazing. He's already amazing. He's at Barcelona and he looks pretty damn good already. He's a right winger by trade, but he can also play up front or on the left. And he's got a resilient personality, great player traits, impressive attributes already. His physicals are great already, getting up to nearly double digits for a 16-year-old. Technical skills are getting really good as well. His technique is 16, but his highest attribute so far is his mental flair at 19. He is going to be really good, as are everyone else in this list. You probably will struggle to get him from Barcelona though, but his range of value is between 9 and 29 million. If you can get him for 29 million, good job. But, you know, Barcelona will probably want to hang on to him in the future. And there's a lot of players on this list from Barcelona as well, so he isn't the only one. Right, next up on the list, we go to basically Endrick, but a year younger. It's Estal, who is also at Palmeiras in Brazil. He is an attacking midfielder, and whilst his attributes aren't as good as we've just seen with Lamine Yamal, he is still going to be really, really good. He's got a slightly lower current ability, but his potential ability is right up there as well. Good pace and acceleration, again, for a 16-year-old. Some of those technical abilities, basically his dribbling, first touch, and finishing, are all getting up there as well. One to look at, and one you can get really cheap early on. You can get him for under 2 million. But because he's Brazilian, you won't be able to get him until he turns 18, so you'll have to hope that Palmeiras develop him nicely over those intervening years. Right, number 3 on the list is English youngster 15-year-old Mikey Moore at Tottenham Hotspur, and I believe he is the youngest player on this list. Left winger by trade, but again, someone who can play in all of the attacking third. He's got 17 determination, a fairly determined personality, and so far is looking so good. Agility of 11 is his best physical trait, but it's his mentals and his technicals that really pull him up as well. We've mentioned that determination, but he's got good finishing, good first touch, good dribbling, good technique. He's going to be really good on the ball as well. No player traits just yet, but he will be getting better and better, and for 53 million he could be yours. Probably not going to get him from Spurs unless he doesn't develop as well as he could be. So if you're a world-beating team, you're going to either have to spend big money or hope he develops a little bit poorly and will be a late bloomer if you want to get your hands on Mikey Moore. Next, we have, staying in North London, Ethan Nwaneri of Arsenal. Again, 16 years old this time, a central midfielder, but can play further forward as well. He's a very strong left-footed player, fairly ambitious personality, good pace, natural fitness, acceleration. His physicals are perhaps the best we've seen so far on this list. But again, he's a well-rounded player. He's got good mentals and technicals as well. His current ability is already quite good. Looking at him as well, he's going to be costing you another 50 million at best for this 16-year-old from Arsenal. They're probably not going to want to get rid of him. He's got good technique and dribbling. Again, 14s for a 16-year-old is really good in this attribute list. But that's Ethan Nwaneri, and now we're off to Rosenborg in Denmark. Now we're off to Rosenborg in Norway for Sverre Halseth Naipan, who, again, this is another central midfielder who can play all around the midfield third of the pitch. He's got a fairly professional personality, but he's already looking like he's well-rounded. He's already in the Rosenborg first team as well. He's got a 16 for his flair. His vision and work rate are really good on his mental side of the game. His physicals, again, really well-rounded, nearly all of them in double figures. Just his jumping reach and his strength letting him down a little bit. Technical ability, again, really good. Dribbling and first touch up there. Passing and technique, really good. So he's going to be throwing the ball around as well as making those runs. So he's going to try. In fact, he's got the player traits of running through balls through the centre and trying killer balls very often as well. He is going to be a really good player in the mould of some of the Scandinavian greats, and 4 million will be all you can get, all you have to part with to get him into your squad at the early doors. If Rosenborg are willing to sell him, he could be a steal for your side if you want to develop him into a world-beating midfielder. And again, another midfielder. There's a lot of midfielders on this list. It's Kendry Perez from Independiente del Valle in Ecuador, but unfortunately, he's got a transfer already agreed with Chelsea, so you might not be able to get him. I'm not sure if that fits across all world modes, but I know definitely on the real world and original mode he is already signed and moved to Chelsea in the future. But again, he's a really good, well-rounded player. Got natural fitness of 16 really high already. Again, all these players are 16 and under, so it kind of gives that away a little bit. Flair of 16. His technical skills, again, in those key areas, dribbling, finishing, first touch, free kick taking's up there as well. Technique of 15. Really well-rounded, got some good pace and agility and acceleration. Stamina of 15 as well. His physicals are, again, they're getting more well-rounded as well. He's got an abysmal morale, but that's probably because he's got a move already agreed for when he turns 18. But Kendry Perez could be one for the future. Could be in a Chelsea side. So if you're managing Chelsea, you've already got him. If you're in the Premier League, you're probably going to have to face him at some point in the future. Speaking of players for the future, obviously, we're on a Wonderkid list. It's the right winger Shaquille Van Percy. Famous name, you might have heard of him. He's available from Feyenoord for 20-ish million, just under. You probably get him on loan early doors as well. But again, this guy has got some well-rounded attributes. He's good in the air. He's got some good jumping reach for a winger. It's quite good in the air, actually. Personality is balanced, so you'll be able to mould him a little bit. He's got decent pace. Decent technical and attacking attributes as well. Technique of 13, first touch of 12, heading 13. He's good in the air for a winger, which is, again, as we mentioned, is a winger or a striker. So if you put him through the middle, he's going to be really dangerous in the air. Really strong left-footed, so he's going to cut in from the right wing as probably an inside forward or an inverted winger. But again, really good player. One for the future, naturally. I keep saying one for the future like we're not doing a Wonderkid list. Wonderful. Subscribe for more great content like that. And I'll see you in a second when we move on to Noah Darich, who is also at Barcelona. A central attacking midfielder, can play slightly further back, slightly further forward, out on the wings. A fairly professional personality, tries killer balls often, got some good passing as well at 13. His flair of 17, he curls the ball well, takes a good free kick. His physical attributes are all really good. 9 strength is his lowest, so you're going to have to bulk him up a little bit. But he's 16, that is to be expected. He's a German youngster at Barcelona. Did originally start out at Freiburg, but quickly moved there, as you can see, to Barcelona for this season. 12s, 13s, 14s across the board in really good key attributes. He's really well-rounded and possibly should be higher up on this list, but he's down here and he's going to be really good for the future at Barcelona. But we're going to go, staying in Iberia, but going to Porto now for Rodrigo Moa, left-sided attacking midfielder. Plays down the centre or on the left. He's got a very strong right foot. Promising attacking midfielder. No player traits just yet. Slightly less well-rounded than some of the other players on this list. But a good flair attribute of 15. Technique and dribbling at 13. So he's going to be good on the ball. Probably a little bit easy to push off the ball with 7 as his strength. Decent pace and acceleration. Agility all 12. Anticipation 12 as well. So he's going to be good in the centre of the park. Probably trying to thread the needle a little bit for the attacking third. But he's not the best player on this list, but he is another one with great potential. And the final player is Shea Lacey, who is a right-sided attacking midfielder currently at Manchester United. You can get him for under 20 million potentially, but again, he's probably the least well-rounded player on this list, which is why he's featuring this far down. But he's got decent technicals so far, decent vision as well of 11. His physical skills, physical attributes, are a bit lower than some of the other players on this. His highest acceleration of 13, pace of 11, so decent pace. The rest of his physical game needs to be worked on, but he's a promising winger. He's got some player traits as well. Tries long-range free kicks, cuts inside as well from the right-hand side of the pitch from the wing. Good dribbling of 14, so he'll be good on the ball. Good first touch, good free kick taking. Not as bad as I probably would have said. I mean, none of these players are going to be bad, are they? They've got great potential ability. So there we go. That's the final player on this list. We'll leave you with Lamine Yamal once again, because he's going to be the best player on this list. He's going to be a Ballon d'Or winner in the future, that's for sure, on FM24. If you've enjoyed looking through these 10 new Wonderkids for FM24, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, check out some more content, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.